Follow the trend, tend to benefit while avoiding harm. Hello everyone, this is Mr. D. Today I want to share with you the Aposteriori 8 trigrams. The Aposteriori 8 trigrams is modified from the 8 trigrams. When we predict things in daily life, we usually use the things represented by the Aposteriori 8 trigrams instead of the 8 trigrams. Of course, there are many legends about how Aposteriori 8 trigrams is found. In order to save time, I will not introduce all of them here. A more widely spread legend is that Fuxi discovered the 8 trigrams, and the king of Zhou, Jichang, modified the 8 trigrams to obtain the Aposteriori 8 trigrams. The 8 trigrams represents the nature state before the formation of everything in this world, and the Aposteriori 8 trigrams represents the nature state after the formation of everything in this world. That is, all things are equal because we were all created by the same creator. However, when all things come into this world, there is inequality among all things. Some things become living things, and some things become non-living things. There are also differences between people in height, etc. We predict the development of events. In the final analysis, we want to predict the impact of this event on people. So we use the Aposteriori 8 trigrams when predicting. There are many differences between the 8 trigrams and the Aposteriori 8 trigrams, but I only introduced 2 in this video, and I will make another video to introduce them in detail in the future. Regarding directions, in the 8 trigrams, the heaven trigram represents south, the lake trigram represents southeast, the fire trigram represents east, the thunder trigram represents northeast, the wind trigram represents southwest, the water trigram represents west, the mountain trigram represents northwest, and the earth trigram represents north. In the Aposteriori 8 trigrams, the heaven trigram represents northwest, the lake trigram represents west, the fire trigram represents south, the thunder trigram represents east, the wind trigram represents southeast, the water trigram represents north, the mountain trigram represents northeast, and the earth trigram represents southwest. Regarding numbers, in the 8 trigrams, the heaven trigram represents 1, the lake trigram represents 2, the fire trigram represents 3, the thunder trigram represents 4, the wind trigram represents 5, the water trigram represents 6, the mountain trigram represents 7, and the earth trigram represents 8. In the Aposteriori 8 trigrams, the heaven trigram represents 6, the lake trigram represents 7, the fire trigram represents 9, the thunder trigram represents 3, the wind trigram represents 4, the water trigram represents 1, the mountain trigram represents 8, and the earth trigram represents 2. When we predict the development of things and need to determine the number and the direction, we usually use the Aposteriori 8 trigrams. As you may have noticed, the direction prescribed in ancient China is the opposite of that in modern society. In ancient China, north was top, south was bottom, east was on the left, and west was on the right. In fact, the direction prescribed in ancient China is the same of that in modern society. But the ancient Chinese look at the direction from a different angle than modern society. Because the ancient Chinese people strictly obeyed that the door of the house should be oriented south, they defined the facing direction of the door to be top. If the top was defined, then the bottom left and right were also defined. Because the top and bottom and left and right defined by the ancient Chinese is opposite to that of the modern society, so the direction prescribed by the ancient Chinese is naturally opposite to that of the modern society, which precisely ensures that the direction prescribed by the ancient Chinese is consistent with that prescribed by the modern society. Subscribe. Be your own prophet.